just take me anyway. My phone was on, and I Googled what does vivacious mean. Now, then I switched my phone off, and then you called me immediately. So I couldn't Google, so I won't Google. So I've got no comment about that. Minister, my sister's son and his white friend came to borrow money from me for a business. They want to buy a car and fix the car and sell the car. So I gave them a loan with interest. After giving them the loan, I saw on TikTok they managed to sell the car at a great profit. So I then sent him a message. I said, "Where's my money?" And he ignored me. And I called him. I said, "Where's my money?" He says, "Yeah, I will bring it tomorrow." I said, "You better." He sent me a message after I dropped the call. He says, "Well, the fact that you only called me and not my white partner makes me start to believe the racism stories about me." Let me greet the former Deputy President. You know, Mckenzie, you are a true patriot. She loves sport. She's not faking or pretending. You'll find it at school sport, you'll find it at top games. And we're always together there. I was saying to her this morning, people are going to start talking about the two of us. And nothing gives me greater joy than seeing you here today. The Minister, what people don't know about the GNU, I'll tell you something. This is gossip. Then I'll deny if you say I said that. The Government of National Unity, I was asked to meet 12 of the richest South Africans after I went to go and watch the game between the Springboks and England. And they asked me to stay because these billionaires want to have a question for me. That's strange, I don't know them, I'm going to stay. So I had lunch with them. And they asked me this question, they said, "Will the GNU last?" I said, "Yeah, of course, of course." He said, "Why?" And these guys, that's the only question they had. I said to them, "I don't think we in the GNU particularly like each other. Some of us. But I know one thing for sure. We hate the ones that's not part of the GNU. So on that basis alone, we're going to tolerate each other." I mean, President, I tell you, I went with the Deputy President to Japan, and I had to give a speech. I had to speak about culture. But then Minister Gayton couldn't make it, and there was a mining spot. So I said, "No, Deputy President, I will let me fill that spot because of my knowledge of mining." But I got sick with flu. And I went to the chemist in Japan. And I've never seen such a clueless pharmacist. He couldn't understand English. I didn't understand, so I was trying to make sense of it. He still couldn't understand, and I realized if I don't leave here, I might leave with birth control tablets. So I got back to the hotel with some of the tablets. And John Steenhuisen appeared. He was with us in Japan. He said, Minister, you don't look well. I said, I'm sick as a dog. He says, wait, Raji, I'm coming. And he came back with half a pharmacy, like lots of tablets for me. With he came with lots of tablets things. And he said, you take 4 of this, you take 3 of this, you take... I looked at him, thinking, fair chance. You're not going to kill me so easily. So I got to my room. And I got to my room. I'm like, I ain't drinking this tablets. No way. Not from the head of John Steenhuisen. But it became so bad that I'm like, took out my phone. I took a picture of the tablets. And I sent the message. I said, baby, if I die tonight, I want you to tell the Hawks at this time, John Steenhuisen. So just before I move on, and that is the GNU for you. And the next morning I was feeling very good. And I want to welcome the minister. Minister, you know, what we say behind your back, I'm going to say in front of you today. You are the glue when we are fighting. You speak to everyone in the GNU. You got a smile. I mean, we all trust you. I mean, I know the DA don't trust me, but there's some guys that trust me. But you're the one constant that everyone, because we have our caucus outside the ANC. And that secret caucus will be like, the president, I love when the president speaks because of, as he called the minister, M. So you are the one person, and I want to say to you that you are the most welcoming person for all of us. You are so welcoming. You're always there to help us because it's also our first time there. Make lots of mistakes and don't know how some of the things work. You always help with a smile. And I want to say to you, you truly, and I said it to you last week, so people shouldn't think that you've given me a check here outside. I said to you last week that with you as a leader, this country will be really better off. And I mean it. You are truly one person that has kept us together, even when we fight on the groups. You will come with somebody's birthday, happy birthday. And I'm thinking like, how do you know when is Dean McPherson's birthday? So yeah, I just wanted to say that, and I want to say to the president of cricket, I say you've done a hell of a fine job. And we're really, really proud of you. To the chairperson, Chair, you know, what do you say, Mbogoto. Thank you so much for who you are, your humble nature, always willing to help. CEO, you know, sometimes when I go to the rugby, I can just put on something. When I go to the rugby, I can just put on something. And I meet with the president and the CEO, Rian, because they'll come with veldskoenen. And when I come to cricket, you know, you put one to save. I must always put the dice suits. And to the Deputy Minister of Namibia, you've become a true friend. You've become a true friend. We share so much in common. And we are so glad that Zimbabwe and Namibia forms part of that we are partners with them in this World Cup. This is history being made of what we can achieve when we work together as different nations and as equals. And I want to welcome you graciously. Thank you. And to our chair, you know, I was at a party of a friend of mine, very prominent guy, Rob Hershoff. And he had some people there from the New York Stock Exchange. And I came with 3 guys from Menenberg to the party. So you can understand Menenberg, and what the conversation steered to finance ministers. And the only thing they agreed on was that, you know, people like you comes like Halley's Comet. It's It's not every day. And I have got no doubt in my mind that, you know, you can be praised by the people with higher excellence. And if the people on the lowest strata of the world and the highest excellence share the same thought about you, that's a life that was worth living. And for you, I want to say, nothing gives me greater joy than you being the chairperson of this college. To the MC, I will reserve my praise until I've Googled. Very prolific Englishman. I'm a big fan of your work. I will withdraw that after Googling if I found something. To the cricket people that are here, I'm talking about the presidents of the federations. I'm talking about the people keeping cricket alive in the areas. Your story is never told. I live in a place called Chicago, in Paarl. And it's in Paarl, you're either against a rugby player or flucky cricket player. That's it. And the flucky cricket players are more than the gangsters because of what you guys are doing in our communities. I want to thank you. Your work is one where people don't recognize, but it takes you away from your own children to look after our children. And to the board of cricket, I say, lastly, thank you. Thank you for putting this together. And something important was said here. The minister also said that, you know, we want this to be a World Cup for all of South Africa. It shouldn't be a World Cup for some. There should be provisions should be made for the people that can't afford a ticket. Provisions should be made for a child that plays cricket but has never seen a live cricket game. We should make those provisions in Namibia, in Zimbabwe, in South Africa. The ones that think that our country is a great country. Yeah, we have our moments, but you must never forget one thing about South Africa. South Africa is one of the greatest countries in the world. You know, people say that we are a failed state. You need to travel more if you think South Africa is a failed state. This country, under the leadership of President Ramaphosa, has got a direction. We know, we can see, we are not yet where we want to be, but we are not where we used to be. We've got the best rugby team in the world. We've got the best cricket team in the world. We've got the strongest men in the world. We've got the strongest women in the world. We've got the best surfing team in the world. Even Bafana's gone 19 games without a loss. That doesn't tell you. We live in a miracle country. Our old man stopped here. I had some guys coming over to watch sport with me, so I don't drink, so I went to go get him some alcohol. And this old man says to me, I know how we lost. I said, why? He says, they must learn to leave the sports minister alone. And he has made me feel so good. I want to congratulate the local organizing committee, board of directors, and we want the public to know who they are. These are truly eminent individuals. You know, you don't need to worry. The people that's here, they're going to deliver the best World Cup ever. And I mean that. I mean that sincerely when I say that when we went for the G20 minister, we just have a bad start. Because the minister of Brazil, I was hanging with the minister of Angola, the whole day. We were together, me and the minister of Angola. The evening, we were exchanging gifts. And the minister of Angola taking out a CD. That's his own music that he makes. And he gives it to the Minister of Brazil of Culture. She also takes out a CD, music CD, of her own songs. And the ex-Minister of Brazil is with us. He's also taking out the CD. And they look at me, I said, well, somebody's going to buy the music. for dinner. And the conversation steered, and this is my message to the LOC, before I announce you. The conversation steered to World Cups. And Russia, Brazil, Argentina, and all of them start talking about, they're arguing which World Cup was the best. And I'm sitting there, and nobody's even talked about South Africa. I said, excuse me? And while we're arguing which one was the best, the waiter came. And the waiter said, this is your order, what you going to order? And I said, sorry, do you follow soccer? He says, everybody in Brazil follows football. I said, but you, he says, I don't really follow football, I travel for football. I said, did you watch the World Cup? He said, all of them. I said, you're the right person to ask the next question. Can you sing me any song of any World Cup that you've attended? He said, waka waka. I said, gentlemen, can you order the food now? And the fight is over. And that's what we want to talk about. This cricket event coming. The following people, I can tell you, I just happen to know of their work. I know them through their work. Our chairperson, which I've spoken about, the chairman of the board is Mr. Trevor Mengo. The second person is Johannes Adams. He's a non-independent, non-executive director. Then we have Mr. Yunus Bobat, a non-independent, non-executive director. Then we have Herman Bosman, independent, non-executive director. Then we have Mr. Vianney Zarana. I'm just going to, they're all non-independent, non-executive directors. Nofanelo Mabrenchu, Dr. Pumzile Mlambo Nuka, Ravi Naidu, Dr. Stravos Nicola, salute, Advocate Philip October, Advocate Carissa Pillay, SC, Unati, Nephew Satswana, and the ex-official is Buletsi Museki, Refinse Senus, Chart van der Walt. Can we give all those people a great round of applause? And just, I couldn't help but see Dr. Minister, yes, a lot of doctors, people with. I had a very bad incident going to speak in Cyprus, Minister. Somehow they confused my CV with somebody, and the lady said, the next speaker, Mr. Gayton Mckenzie, has got a doctorate, he's got an MBA, he's got an MBA, and I stood up, and he's got a PhD, and people clapped, and I had to fix that, and I just went up and I said, well, I do have a PhD, I do have an MBA, my PhD stands for Past High School with the Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Life of an artist, bad shot spices, at glorifying drugs as a stage fright cure. You can try this just when you're about to grab your chance of staging. Excitement, you can't think out this industry, or should I say this killer dream, cause you will swear that from the start it was designed to kill artists. Bangakulela when days are bright, as a human being on Instagram, too much pressure, unrealistic expectations. Whoever said that is the perfect is with us, wethembekile, singiza wethembekile, remedies within us as ikhwemba sibhebhekile. Yeah.